Basketball, sure to be an entertaining contest. Some collegiate talent included in the lineup. Good evening, everyone. This is Kevin Harlan, joined by Stan Van Gundy and Greg Anthony. And it's Philadelphia to start out. Outside Curry. A three ball. And he's good on the three ball.
Honestly, guys, Curry is the best three-point shooter I've ever seen.
So, GA, when you think about Steph Curry's legacy, he changed the way the NBA game is played.
Man, it is hard to find a player who's had the impact of a Steph Curry, making us rethink what is possible. Curry's endless range has really inspired a generation.
Good on the three-point shot.
Can't fall asleep guarding Stewart from downtown. She has range that you simply have to respect.
Here's Jackson.
Well, sometimes when you see the athleticism these guys have, it reminds you that this league has some of the best athletes in the world.
The quick thinking of Westbrook, sensing separation and electing to go right up with it.
And it's Green slamming it down.
And how about just floating to the rim on that slam?
Boy, when he gets up, I mean, he gets up. Here's Stewart. Right side O'Neal. Another shot. And the rebound by Jaren Jackson. And George, here we go. And George with the stuff.
And this is George at his best, taking it at the defense, playing downhill.
Hits it from three-point range.
Oh, in good form from distance.
And here's Cunningham following Russell Westbrook's three. Sinks the three-pointer.
Matching baskets from the perimeter, an earmark of today's game.
Yeah, sometimes you get in a shootout like this, but you just hope that you can get a stop first.
Here's Green following the basket by Russell Westbrook. Fires from deep. Can't get it to fall, and he's missed the second after making his first. On its way from Curry for two. Again, Philadelphia.
And you see the power, but O'Neal shares it nicely as well.
Here's Towns. And the rejection by Curry.
Well, that's one way to avoid getting posterized. Stand tall and protect the rim.
Pulls up, high post. And it falls over the rim and in. Curry's got 7.
Just shows you how impressive Curry's shooting ability is, that he can adjust for any distance.
Well, that wasn't a bad shot. Defense playing a little loose there. Sometimes it just doesn't go in.
And don't look now, but they're starting to extend this lead.
Well, look, we've seen that no lead is safe these days. You got to keep scoring and extending that margin.
First team foul.
And that one misses.
Talented scorer and rebounder. Breanna Stewart is a threat on both ends, but on offense especially, she can really be a nightmare to try and contain.
Now here's Curry. 10 points for him. Towns for 3. A putback. Cunningham. Shooting foul as the whistle blows. He'll shoot 2 free throws.
Yeah, there you see Cunningham's willingness to take contact, to battle for his shot inside.
And so now a timeout taken by Mike D'Antoni. He's going to have a discussion on the sideline. So Cunningham nails both of them.
Yeah, great effort tonight, and he's been rewarded with trips to the line.
2-second difference between shot clock and game clock. On the wing, Porter. Over George. And that one's good by Porter.
They just won't miss. I mean, this is incredible.
Well, as a coach, this is when you enjoy what you're watching. Your team playing well and everything just flowing.
He gets right to the rim, but the defense there to deter him.
And so he hits both. It's been all about Stephen Curry for Philadelphia. He got into double digits for the quarter with 10 points total. We'll return shortly. And if you're just joining us, we've played through one quarter in this one. And guys, what's your take so far in Philadelphia?
I know it's early, but all those three-pointers, boy, do they add up.
And with each made three, their confidence continues to build. Their opposition might want to change their approach to try to slow them down. Well, he sends it inside where they can get a high percentage look. That's just great basketball.
The offensive skill set for Karl Anthony Towns, Greg is a 7-footer, is very special, to say the least.
The outstanding shooting, the post play, and he's worked on his defense. He may never be elite at that end, but he ignites in offense.
All right, we'll take a look now at how the points have been generated so far. A scoring breakdown for Philadelphia.
Well, the coaching staff's game plan is very clear. Move the ball on the perimeter and shoot the shots with no hesitation.
And also, guys, they're playing for one another right now. All those extra passes are leading to easy buckets.
Smith for three. His first shot is a miss. 0 for 1 to start the contest. Right side Robinson. There's a screen by Robinson. From deep, Rose drills it from outside. Rose has got the lead up to 11 now for Philadelphia. And stolen by Watson. Here's Robinson. And Robinson throws it down hard.
And how about the hustle from Robinson, making it his mission to beat everyone down the floor?
Outside, O'Neal. Wasted no time on that one.
Love that they're continuing to attack despite being up big.
Yeah, they're being absolutely relentless. Building this lead in every way possible.
And an intentional foul right there.
Really no idea why you're fouling in a situation.
Hi, everyone. Welcome to 2K Sports. Should be a fun one here. We have some collegiate players stepping into the fray.
Man, it don't matter what you do, you're going to get whooped.
I'm Kevin Harlan, along with Stan Van Gundy and Greg Anthony. Here we go. And San Francisco starts out with the ball. Chambers. A three-pointer, no good. The offensive skill set for Karl Anthony Towns, Greg is a 7-footer, is very special, to say the least.
And the outstanding shooting, the post play, and he's worked on his defense. He may never be elite at that end, but he ignites in offense.
Here's Young after the basket by Detroit. Here's Milicic. A kick out to O'Neal. And the three ball is good.
Oh, great job by him keeping his eyes open, allowing him to spot the shooter ready at the arc.
And here we go. San Francisco fast break. And here's Green. He'll bring it up for Detroit. Jackson has the open look. It's good from long range.
Well, modern-day big men can hit threes and guard multiple positions. That's Jaren Jackson.
Now here's Shaq. Three-pointer. The basket good. Off the assist from Young. O'Neal's got a couple of threes now in the first for San Francisco. Jackson with the screen. Cunningham looking it over. From downtown, another three for Detroit.
And Cunningham responds confidently at the other end.
And San Francisco with possession. Screen by Young. And Daniels. Here we go.
Never a bad idea to run the old pick play.
You're right. And if it produces a slam like that, we'll probably see more of them.
Yeah, defensive breakdown there. Gotta communicate and switch that screen.
And that's a grown man's jam by Green.
Back to Young. .129 left in the first quarter. 6 to shoot. And then Young with the dunk.
That's how to throw it down with a flourish. Guys, windmill that baby home.
Oh, you're right. And he does it on the reverse just for good measure. Back to Towns. Lays it up off the glass.
Well, Towns is a great outside shooter, but I prefer it when he goes to work inside.
Here is Daniels. Pass to Milicic. Puts the move on. And he dunks it down.
I mean, what a cut. He just slices right in there for the basket.
Green up on top. Over Daniels. Green, no luck.
Not sure what the D was doing there. Clearly a breakdown. You can ill afford to give a guy like him that good a look. And that's exactly what he's looking for, draining the triple.
Now here's Green. And foul on Milicic.
Bro, you suck with that off.
His first foul of the game.
That shit make the game boring as hell.
19 seconds left to play here in the first. To the paint. And he gets the whistle for the 3-second call.
San Francisco ball.
Young in the corner. It's stolen by Cunningham. So at the end of one quarter of play, still a close game. San Francisco leads by just 3. And we'll be back with you for the start of the second quarter when we... And it's been a pretty even game here after one quarter of play. And let's get your take, guys, on the scoring breakdown for San Francisco.
Well, the coaching staff's game plan is very clear. Move the ball on the perimeter and shoot the shots with no hesitation.
And I also like how they've trusted one another with the rock, creating shots by keeping the ball moving.
Pass to Milicic. He takes it in. Duran pulls it in. Detroit trails by 3. And you talk about size, coach, strength, and pounds.
I'll take that.
Good evening, everyone, and welcome to this 2K Sports presentation. The atmosphere in this building is electric as we get a chance to see an energized college player plugged into the roster. Good evening, everyone. This is Kevin Harlan, joined by Stan Van Gundy and Greg Anthony. And so off the tip, it's Albuquerque. Adebayo with the ball. Now guarded by Towns. O'Neal misses. We've known about Jaren Jackson Jr.'s defensive acumen, but GA much improved as a scorer as well.
Yeah, her range out beyond the arc and his handle, I think it's underrated. One of the top two-way bigs in our league.
And Albuquerque with the possession. Here's Green, and it's Green with the jam.
How about the execution inside by Green? He's excellent at knowing when to attack down low.
Outside, Towns. Offensive rebound. For three. That's in, and he found his range with that one. Now 1 for 2.
Look, this is a big part of Towns' value. He's a big who can stretch the floor for you.
And Watson slams it in.
Tossing the pass to the interior. That's what you want to do. Get into the paint.
Cunningham looking it over. Fires the three. Draymond Green pulls it in. Inside, Adebayo, and Adebayo throws it down.
Yeah, Adebayo there throwing it down with a little attitude.
It's Cunningham with the drive. Here's Towns. Over Adebayo. And it's Towns missing.
Very dangerous to leave a guy like that open. Lucky break there for the D.
Well, Adebayo usually has the advantage over other bigs when it's time to run.
Is there any better feeling than stuffing a shot near the hoop?
A minute 50 left in the first. For the three, Karl Anthony Towns, and that's good. Towns has got 6.
Towns has one of the best three-point strokes of any big man in the league.
Cunningham for 3. And another 3 for Detroit.
Keeping things simple on offense. Great work finding the open man.
Here's Leonard. And the rejection by Towns.
Well, at the rate Adebayo scores, it's hard not to fall for that.
First team foul.
All right, well, look at how the points have been generated so far. Scoring breakdown for the Savages.
Well, the coaching staff's game plan is very clear. Move the ball on the perimeter and shoot the shots with no hesitation.
And, guys, another thing I love is their pursuit of the ball. I mean, creating second-chance opportunities just with effort.
Yeah, and once Towns gets any momentum going to the hoop, he's a tough man to stop.
6 changes of the lead here.
Yeah, both teams still kind of feeling their way through this game.
And it's Towns missing. And so it's Watson who will bring it up for Albuquerque. Driving in. Adebayo drives in. It's hauled in by Paul George. Here are the Savages. They trail by 1. Towns, the screen. There's Jackson with the 3. The shot goes in. First of the night. He's 1 for 3 to start the game.
Well, Jackson brings so much value with his ability to space the floor.
Pass to Watson. Good, and it's Green picking up the assist. Watson's got his second basket.
Matching baskets from the perimeter, an earmark of today's game.
Yeah, sometimes you get in a shootout like this, but you just hope that you can get a stop first.
Now flying high and throwing it down with the one hand.
One of his favorite moves right there, guys.
And that's how you want to use your fouls, not allowing him to get to the rim.
Albuquerque shooting their 3rd and 4th free throw attempts of the game. And he makes both free throws.
Well, you have to appreciate a big man who can step up to the line and knock it down with confidence.
Guys, Bam Adebayo getting it done for Albuquerque. He got into double digits for the quarter with 10 points total. Back to the action in just a minute. And if you're just tuning in, it's been a pretty even game through the first quarter. And guys, let's get your take on the scoring breakdown so far for Albuquerque.
Well, they're in a great flow. The ball's moving. All those assisted buckets means the offense is running well.
You also have to admire how they've challenged the defense inside, getting a lot of points in the paint.
And it's Smith penetrating, and he banks in the layup.
Honestly, guys, I think Duran prefers contact. He is one physical dude.
And you talk about size, coach, strength, and bounce. Jalen Duran drawing comparisons now to young Dwight Howard.
Yeah, he certainly is, Kevin. And look, I like to be careful when we're making those kind of comparisons with a young player and a Hall of Famer like Dwight Howard. But there are similarities with the athleticism and the relentless approach to defense and rebound.
Allison. Good, and it's Malone picking up the assist.
And they've done well at taking advantage of some late defensive rotations and getting the ball in the paint.
Oden the screen. No one near Smith as he lets it go. And the 3 ball is good.
An absolute sharpshooter. J.R. Smith always rises with confidence. And he's an automatic finisher when he gets into that area.
He is, and he picks the simple one-hand stuff to get the 2 points. Smith feeling it out of it. And stolen by Caruso. And here we go. Second quarter of basketball, just over a minute and a half played so far. And it's Moses Malone with the foul. That is his first foul of the game.
Second team foul.
Here's Wilkins. He has yet to score. And the call is going to be, yes, it is, an illegal screen.
And not the most common call you'll see in the NBA, but hard to argue that pick wasn't illegal.
Yeah, and that's maybe something that should be called more. We see a lot of moving screens in today's NBA.
Oh, and he plucks it off the glass. Wow. Duran wide open. Hits the 3-point bomb. Duran's got the lead up to 5 now for the Savages. And so now a timeout taken by Mike D'Antoni. He's going to take a minute here to get things straightened out.
On the court, all right, fans, get on your feet and make some noise for T-Shirt Time!
Albuquerque trails by 5. Here's Caruso. And he dunks it down.
Well, in that two-man set, Caruso just going himself. Very smart.
And it's Wilkins finishing it off.
Well, the best dunks are quick, emphatic, and leave the defense knowing it was on them.
And he gets it to go.
Now, how did he manage to change his shot midair?
Detroit leading by 3. For 3, Smith. Duran. And Duran slams it in.
Well, that is a solid screen by Dunn. And then the big man rolls right into scoring position.
And it's Malone finishing it off.
There's no bigger play in a close game than a putback slam.
Oh, and that one's got them all hyped up. Wow.
Yes, some guys shrink in big moments, and some rise to the occasion.
Collison up top. Pass to Caruso. And the teardrop. The putback. Great positioning on the putback. And now just a 1-point Savage lead.
Just in a perfect position to grab that rebound and then get the putback.
And here is Oden. He's covered by Collison. Shot's good from Oden. And the Savages lead by 3.
And the potential for Oden to be dominant in the paint is off the charts.
And foul on the shot. He'll shoot 2 at the free throw line.
Personal foul.
They get Craig Oden.
Team foul.
Well, that's an aggressive move, catching the defender a little out of position.
2 shots.
And he makes the first. A big group substitution here for Albuquerque. So 1 for 2 that time with the strike. And Kawhi Leonard with the slam.
And the work rate that Kawhi shows on every play, never takes a moment off, and that can lead to second chance opportunities.
Oden inside. And he was able to put it up in time, but doesn't fall. And that'll do it for the first half. Game time. And we'll be back for the second half following the break. Keep it right here on 2K Sports. And we've got second half action for you. Thus far, a pretty evenly contested game. And it's Smith with the ball. He brings it up for the Savages. With the drive. And J.R. Smith with the slam.
We'll see if they can finally hold on to a lead. It's been back and forth all night.
Well, this is why the fans are here. Each team trading blows, increasing the entertainment value.
Duran. 5 to shoot. That's a 2 from Smith. Off target from the wing.
Just tremendous defense right there. Applying the pressure.
To stand multiple defensive selections for Bam Adebayo.
Well, look, Kevin, Bam Adebayo has 3 key things for a defender. All right? He is smart, he is tough, and he is very, very versatile. He can guard virtually everyone on the floor. Well, my goodness. He put a little extra sauce on that one.
Pass to Watson. Got a piece of it. And so the ball is out of bounds. Wilkins touched it last.
And he jumped out to that ball immediately. Great reaction on that deflection.
Yeah, and you know they're tracking the tips and deflections because that tells you who's affecting the game.
And so Steve Kerr decides to call a timeout. He's going to take a few moments here to check in with his team and regroup. So here's Albuquerque. 4-point game. Porter with a block.
The size of Porter can sneak up on you. He's a surprising 6'10".
No good with the triple. And we're about a minute and a half here into the second half. Doubled by Smith. Here's Shaq. Uses the glass to finish the layup.
Important points there. Got him on a nice play, getting the ball inside and right to the bucket.
It's Wilkins with the drive. And Duran slams it in.
How much power from Jalen Duran. Goodness.
Here's Collins. And finished off by Collins.
Oh, an aggressive move and fantastic finish.
Trying to send a message with that slam, I think. Pass to Porter. Stolen by Collins. Jumps up. And a lot of contact on that one, so he'll shoot two here. That one on Porter.
Personal foul.
Forcing the issue inside. Collins is hard to handle.
For Albuquerque, they've shot a good percentage from the free throw line so far. They've made 5 out of 6. Offensively, John Collins' game is tailor-made for the modern NBA.
Well, it sure is, Kevin, and I've always admired John Collins' efficiency. You know, I mean, he can make threes. He can create his own shot both in the post and off the dribble facing up and make mid-range jumpers. He's a great offensive rebounder. He's a lob threat. Really not much John Collins can't do at a very high level.
Oden a screen. Down low. Porter outside. Rebounded by Dikembe Mutombo.
Just enough coverage to bother that three-point attempt.
It's stolen by Smith. And here is Duran. 9 points in the game so far. From downtown, Smith's shot is good. Smith's got the lead up to 5 now for the Savages.
A certified bucket. J.R. Smith can catch fire in a hurry and send the defense scrambling. And so far in the second half, this has been a different kind of game than what we saw early on.
Yeah, you can see it in the hustle stat. These guys have come out with a different mindset and seem much more motivated here in the second half.
It's stolen by Duran. There's Porter with the 3. Rebound by Albuquerque. Watson for 3. And no good on the last second attempt this time. That concludes the third quarter. It continues to be an exciting neck-and-neck game. Savages lead by 3. Don't go anywhere. The final... 3/10 quarters behind us. One more to go. Thanks for being with us as we begin the fourth. Albuquerque trails by 3. Here's Green. Takes it out to Leonard. Here's Hamilton. Banked in off the glass.
And some serious ingenuity from Leonard there. He sees the opening and then just makes the right read.
Cunningham on the wing. Pass to Jackson. Right side Towns. Down to 5 on the shot clock. And Towns throws it down.
Well, Towns is sort of a rhythm scorer. He's been in a groove tonight, and his team recognizes that. They keep calling his number.
And he shows us all what the breakaway rim was invented for.
Can you believe he almost brought the whole thing down by hanging on that long? Stolen by Jackson. George! It's good!
Hope you're seeing that.
And taking a quick look here, guys, at the hustle stats for the Savages.
Well, all you can ask for is your guys to be really active on D, and they've been more than that tonight.
And boy, it just seems like they are blocking everything. All throughout this game, they have just wreaked havoc defensively.
Jackson!
again, to stretch the floor, particularly in this second half.
Yeah, and where has the defense been? They've been content to let them fire away. They've got to close out to the arc.
Now Towns. Down he goes for three.
Heavy incoming from beyond the arc, a key part of their initiative this entire fourth quarter.
Yeah, it's always a little risky to lean this hard on the three-point shot. But when you're knocking him down, you might as well keep riding.
Now Cunningham. No good from three. 1:44 left to play here in the fourth. Green fires. And he does not hit.
They need buckets to stay in this game. That's not the shot they're looking for.
A corner. Outside Jackson. Fires away from outside. Cleared away by Adebayo. And so now a timeout taken by Mike D'Antoni. He's ready to talk things through with them. Albuquerque trails by 4.
If you came to watch a scoring battle, you're in the right place.
Yeah, and how great have these offenses been for these teams tonight? Just fantastic execution.
Cunningham outside.
Fearless. Draymond Green gets it done in the moment.
Here comes Shaq. And there's the dunk.
That is ferocious.
You said it. That was ferocious. Here's Towns. Pocket pass to the paint, and he punches it home.
Well, in a big moment, go to your big man. Towns can be so dominant when he needs to be.
Ah, the dunk to punctuate.
They're in total command of this game with time starting to run out.
Yeah, and at this point, the focus is take care of the ball, no needless fouls, and no threes. Nice poise from him there, taking over in a big moment.
Jackson. The long shot, no good. The way, Greg, they're sharing the ball tonight, mesmerizing.
Everyone's getting to touch it, and everyone's contributing.
And George, here we go. Oh, the dunk! Now a timeout called by Albuquerque.
Albuquerque timeout called.
3 seconds left in the fourth quarter. Guys, what's your take?
And I don't think they'll be able to climb out of this hole.
Well, I've been in this spot more times than I'd like to admit. All you can do is tell your guys to hold their heads up and finish strong.
They're going to turn it over. They couldn't get it in bounds that time.
Savage's ball.
One-handed!
Assist goes to Greg Oden.
Out of bounds. Detroit takes possession.
The ball goes to Detroit.
I don't know what the heck happened there. That's just a careless turnover.
Layup, no good. So it's the Savages picking up the win. This was a very strong showing for him, Greg. Not necessarily a runaway win, but one they'll feel very good about.
And let's face it, anytime you can go on the road and win in the fashion they did, you have to feel good about it. Really an outstanding effort all the way around.
And that'll wrap it up, folks. For my friends Greg Anthony and Stan Van Gundy, this is Kevin Harlan. Thanks for being with us tonight on 2K Sports. We'll see you later on. Welcome, everyone, to 2K Sports. We've got something special for you tonight. Added to the roster for this one, some collegiate players will be out there as well. A great chance for them to prove themselves. This is Kevin Harlan, joined at the broadcast table by Greg Anthony and Coach Stan Van Gundy.
Here we go.
And so off the tip, it's Albuquerque. Here is Daniels. Pass to Klingon. Here's Milicic. There's the three. It's Cunningham with the rebound. You know, Stan, when you talk about the skill set Cade Cunningham possesses, what impresses you most?
I think a couple of things, Kevin. Number one, his poise is outstanding. This guy never gets bothered by anything that happens in a game, by any type of adversity. He's just going to come back with the same mindset on the next play. And also, his shooting has improved so much that you've now got to defend him honestly on the perimeter, and that sets up the rest of his game. Well, that's the kind of assertive play you want to see more of from Cunningham.
And he's not going to miss that sort of an opportunity from deep.
And Green slams it in.
And once he gets ahead of steam, clear the way, because he is going all in.
Pass to Ferry. Here's Milicic. There's the pick. 6 to shoot. And here is Johnson. And again, Albuquerque with the triple.
Good way to start this game. You want to get him rolling as early as possible.
Yeah, and I'll tell you what, if he gets into a good rhythm early, watch out.
How about the head of steam he's able to generate right there and just gets to the rack really easy.
Pass to Ferry. The shot's good on the assist by Daniel.
Well, that's just a good-looking jumper from distance there.
On the wing, Jackson. And that's out of bounds. The Savages will retain possession.
You love the pressure he's putting on them. Almost had that steal.
Yeah, deflections are a stat that a lot of teams track, disrupting the offense's rhythm and flow.
Outside, George. Daniels with the steal. Johnson, wide open, he fires. And again, Albuquerque with the triple.
And I like how he didn't have a great look, kicked it, and they end up with the triple.
Here's Green, and it's Green with the jam.
How about the execution inside by Green? He's excellent at knowing when to attack down low.
Johnson, good.
Guys, he's been a one-man air raid coming at them time and time again.
Well, what I love about his three-point shooting is the spacing that he's adding. It makes things a lot easier for everyone else.
Both teams running perimeter-oriented plays that are working.
Well, you know it's become a three-point shooting league. Teams shooting a steady diet from outside.
There's the pick. Here's Perry. And again, Albuquerque with the triple.
Making it rain a little from outside.
Towns, the screen. Nice ball movement by Detroit. Green with the ball. And Daniels picks him up defensively. Cunningham for three. The three-pointer is right on target. Cunningham's got 5.
And Cunningham responds confidently at the other end.
Back to Daniels. And it's off from three-point range. And a good game so far as we conclude the first quarter. Albuquerque leads by 1. And the second quarter about to get started. We'll be back in just a moment. And we hope you're enjoying the game. Both teams tonight keeping things pretty even so far in the scoreboard. And a moment now to quickly take a look at the offensive approach for Albuquerque.
Well, the thing about hitting early threes, it spaces the floor and makes things a lot easier offensively.
And something else that's working for them is ball movement. A lot of their points so far have come as a result of smart plays.
Now, here's Cunningham. A miss that time. Would have put him up. Launches it. A shot by Johnson, no good.
And close to making the defense pay for the lax coverage that time.
We've known about Jaren Jackson Jr.'s defensive acumen, but G.A. much improved as a scorer as well.
He has range out beyond the arc, and his handle, I think it's underrated. One of the top two-way bigs in our league.
Well, when he's on the floor, Dyson Daniels gives you uncapped energy. He's really committed to going all out.
A different look here for Detroit. And how about the emergence, Stan, of Dyson Daniels as an elite wing defender?
Yeah, look, Kevin, I think what happened with Dyson Daniels is he just got a chance to step into more playing time. And as he got that consistent time, he showed that he's not only one of the best defenders in this league, but he's got more offensive skill than people thought he had also.
The shot's good from Smith.
Gotta know Smith is on the prowl for revenge when you sink on him. I mean, great response from the young man.
Look, he's the kind of player that has you awake at 3 a.m. asking yourself, how do I stop him?
And 2 shots coming up at the line as he gets fouled on the shot. It's his first trip to the line. Free throw good, Smith.
And Smith is known as a streaky shooter, but when he gets hot, boy, he is really fun to watch. And that's the norm for him. He's pretty much automatic when he's at the line.
Clinging at the elbow. They set the pick. Down low. And it's Clinging with the jam.
It doesn't get any easier than this. Clinging looks to slam that one down whenever he gets a chance.
And a wide open look for Porter. And the 3 ball is good.
Well, that's a breakdown defensively. Can't afford to give him those kind of looks.
Pass to Daniel. Here's Ferry. He's got 6. Albuquerque needs to get a shot off it. Drains the three-pointer. Milicic has got the lead back up to 4 now for Albuquerque.
Matching baskets from the perimeter and earmark of today's game.
Yeah, sometimes you get in a shootout like this, but you just hope that you can get a stop first.
Johnson from outside. It's good. Now he's shooting 6 for 7.
And he has his fingerprints all over this first half. He is just shooting it so efficiently.
Smith outside. Duran a screen. And another 3 for Detroit.
An absolute sharpshooter. J.R. Smith always rises with confidence.
Here's Perry. Trying to answer back, but that 3 is off the mark. Duran a screen. The drive by Smith. And he's fouled pretty hard on that shot, but he's got the chance to pick up the points at the line.
And this is what happens when you take it strong inside. It puts the defense on their heels.
A big group substitution here for Albuquerque. And you talk about size, coach, strength, and bounce. Jalen Duran drawing comparisons now to a young Dwight Howard.
Yeah, he certainly is, Kevin. And look, I like to be careful when we're making those kind of comparisons with a young player and a Hall of Famer like Dwight Howard. But there are similarities with the athleticism and the relentless approach to defense and rebound.
Smith for 3. Bangs home the trifecta. Smith's got 13 points.
Man, he is feeling it from three-point range. All of a sudden, he just can't miss.
And so it's Albuquerque with a 6-point lead at the end of the quarter. Their lead is where it is because they've gotten good shots. A lot of good shots. And we've got more in 2K Sports coming your way after this break. And we're halfway through this one. Plenty of basketball left in a game that's been fairly even so far. Detroit with the ball. 6-point game. Lets it go with the 3. Rebound by Albuquerque. Duncan surveying the D. Johnson with it. Oden picks him up. Back to Duncan. Picks it out to Johnson. 5 to shoot. Peterson. And a miss there on the triple. Detroit trails by 6. To the middle. Smith outside. And the officials will call the illegal screen right there.
And guys, point of emphasis for the league is to really crack down on illegal screens.
Yeah, and yet, we still see it a lot. It's a tough thing to police.
Here's Peterson. Out to the wing. And the basket by Chambers. Chambers got the lead up to 9 now for Albuquerque.
Yeah, that's a good pass by Peterson. He's a natural creator for both himself and others.
Both teams running perimeter-oriented plays that are working.
Well, you know it's become a three-point shooting league. Teams shooting a steady diet from outside.
Here's the 3. The rebound by McGoal. Albuquerque leading by 9. Here's the screen. Here's Chambers. Off target there. That would have pushed the lead to double digits. Pass to Smith. Puts up a deep 3. Here's Oden. Makes it off the glass. Oden's got his first points in this one.
And I see a lot of that in Oden's future. He could make a living on the glass.
Here's Peterson. Detroit with the rebound.
Well, I'm surprised that didn't fall for him. We know that's a shot he can hit, and there wasn't much resistance either.
How about the high-flying acrobatics by Wilkins on that? Yeah, they call him the human highlight film.
The shot by McClure, no good. Stan, Michael Porter Jr. is a crucial piece to this offense.
Oh, he absolutely is, Kevin. First of all, we know that shooting provides space for other people to operate, and he certainly does that. But Michael Porter Jr. is also a very timely cutter and gets his share of easy buckets.
It's rare that you see this from Duncan, so you know he had to really like the shot.
There's Porter with the three. Leonard with the steal. Pass to Duncan. Back to Leonard. Screen by Duncan. Here's Peterson. A three ball. Offensive rebound. Takes it out to Leonard. Takes the three. Leonard, so dangerous from deep.
Their ability, again, to stretch the floor, particularly in this second half.
Yeah, and where has the defense been? They've been content to let them fire away. They've got to close out to the arc.
6 seconds left to play in the third. Here's Chambers. And no good on the last second attempt this time. And that's it for the third quarter. Both teams scoring well as we head to the fourth.
Detroit.
Albuquerque out in front, up by 6. We've got more in store for you right after this. Well, what a terrific game it's been so far, with this fourth quarter sure to bring more pressure-packed basketball. And there's the whistle. Illegal screen.
And not the most common call you'll see in the NBA, but hard to argue that pick wasn't illegal.
Yeah, and that's maybe something that should be called more. We see a lot of moving screens in today's NBA.
Over in the corner, Green misses the three.
Definitely a situation you want to make sure you don't give him too good of a look.
Here's Chambers. And Karl Anthony Towns pulls it down. And so it's Cunningham with it. He brings it up for Detroit. They trail by 6. Towns, no luck.
Yeah, I'm not sure that's the look they want. It's tough working the mid-range area.
Here's Chambers. Connects from three-point range. Chambers got the lead up to 9 now for Albuquerque. Leonard looking over the floor. He's off from 3. Jackson buries the deep ball.
Well, Jackson brings so much value with his ability to space the floor.
And Draymond Green picks up the foul. That'll be his second foul of the game.
And you can see he just didn't get squared up with his feet.
Here's Peterson. Puts up the three. The three goes down.
Such a competitive player. Peterson wants to respond to threes with one of his own.
Cunningham fires. The long shot, no good.
Well, I've been here before. You're looking to get back in the game, but desperation threes are not the way to do it.
And there's the three.
He is cold-blooded. Drops the dagger. Piles on to what was already a big lead.
And defensively, that kind of effort is just not going to cut it.
Yeah, when you go to the rim, you better bring it, or it's going to get rejected.
Fourth quarter of play, and we're about 2.5 minutes through it right now. Cunningham, the three is off. Albuquerque leading by 12. A deep three, and good from way outside. It's in.
Well, look, don't dare him to launch it from there. He will.
And they come back with a three of their own.
Yeah, this is really important to Cunningham's development. He needs to keep rising, firing, and hitting these pull-up jumpers.
Jackson with the rebound. Detroit trails by 12. Unloads. Takes the three. Cunningham. No good from three.
Yeah, there's no reason for the defense to get out on him right now. Just let him keep taking that shot until he shows them he's going to knock it down.
Jackson fires. And he nails the J to capitalize on the fast break. Here's Chambers. Duncan, a screen. Now Leonard. Misses the three.
Guys, let's just go ahead and call this one. It's over.
Yeah, time is not on their side. The score is not on their side. Nothing you can do.
Jacks up a three. Clean from outside.
In addition to everything else he does, Peterson is a terrific floor spacer.
And so Albuquerque takes the win. Some good moments throughout this one, but they had the clear advantage down the stretch.
Yeah, I mean, I love the way they executed on both ends of the floor, completely under control for the vast majority of the game. And whenever there was a misstep, they just